Alright, so we're going to talk about a couple of the things that I don't like about the Sportster S. I'm going to try to add some new stuff to this discussion that haven't already been discussed in YouTube videos, because a lot of these people reviewing the bike aren't owners of the bike, so they don't really know a lot of the pain points. And we're going to talk about this one first. So both of these apps, the Harley Davidson app that controls the navigation and my phone, are both pointed at Home Depot right now, and I'm going to discuss my first pain point, and that's the navigation. First of all, when I first picked up the bike, the navigation was completely unusable. There were map tile issues, there were sync issues with the phone, and it just didn't work. So you couldn't rely on it at all. This particular implementation is getting a lot better, and Harley is improving it. Week by week, the app is getting updated. My particular issue is with closed routes, and like say you make a wrong turn. So say the app is kind of freaking out right now, and actually it rerouted much faster than it normally does. I happen to know where I'm going right now, so so this isn't really an issue, but I've been lost before due to like road closures and stuff, and this thing just would not reroute me. So right now we're seeing how long it takes to reroute. It flashes around on the screen like it's, you know, having an aneurysm, but actually it did reprogram itself. So I'm actually pretty happy with that performance. This is also like the absolute latest iPhone, the 14 Pro. So, and I had the 13 Pro before this, so I know like it wasn't my phone. But actually, so this negative can turn into a positive. So you can actually see that the app is definitely improving. Now, if you need to like quickly enter an address and you want to keep these bars clean and just use the navigation, which is originally what my plan was, entering an address in, you need your phone. So like let's say you get a phone call and you need to change where you're going, so you have to pull over, take your phone out, go through the whole rigmarole of putting it into the Harley Davidson app and sending it to the bike. Whereas, you know, with your phone, obviously you know how easy it is to do with your regular cell phone. So it's a bit of a pain point, but I guess if you want to pay that tax sort of for the cleanliness of the bar, then that's something that you need to be aware of. The other thing about the navigation is that it's tiny. So I have better than 20/20 vision, and I can use this map for the most part. But if you require glasses at all, or if you have any sort of near vision issues, this map is just going to be useless for you. So keep that in mind. It's not really designed to be like hyper practical. It's designed to, like, I think the cleanliness and the round display is number one for obviously this implementation. But now that we're filming this video, I am reasonably happy with the way that it's been recalculating the routes. It's still not as good as Google Maps. The other thing I don't like about this bike is the mirrors. The mirrors, they look good. They, you know, they function well enough. They're not super buzzy, and they show what you want them to show. But they don't really stay on, and they don't stay tight. So I know a lot of, not a lot. I mean, a friend of mine has the Nightster, which has the same mirrors on it, and they've rattled loose actually, you know, multiple times, and now they've permanently lost one. So yeah, the mirrors are not great, and I think that that's a pretty common complaint. I'm gonna go straight instead. It's a pretty common complaint on these bikes. I've reefed on them and put some blue Loctite on them, so they haven't moved too much, but it got so bad to the point where, like, I would tighten them and then I would get on the highway and then the wind would move the mirrors while I was riding. So I mean, the mirrors, if you don't like them, you can swap them out. It's not a huge deal, but it's just something to talk about. The other thing that I don't like about this Sportster S is the seat. The seat is completely uncomfortable. I can maybe get, I don't know. Also, keep in mind that I'm like a bit of a wimp when it comes to like back pain and I've got like hip mobility issues and stuff, so I typically will have hip pain and stuff. Not on this bike because of the forward controls, but on normal bikes I typically will have some hip pain. This seat is not comfortable. It hurts your tailbone and it causes my butt to go numb. So I think like Harley actually did release a new seat for this. I can't remember, maybe I'll link it below, but I've heard good things about it. The most important thing for me with the seat is that when I replace the seat, I don't want it to affect the lines of the bike. So a lot of seats are too like cushy and too puffy, and they break up the lines of the bike. I want it to look good. I think I would rather have it be slightly uncomfortable than look bad, but that's just me. So yeah, I'm going to experiment with either the Corbin or the Harley Davidson updated seat. And the last thing that I'm not a big fan of on this bike is that it's obviously like one of the nicest looking bikes I've ever seen. I love the way that it looks, but it definitely has an ugly side, which I'm not a huge fan of. Like the left side of the bike has nothing really visually going for it. Like the engine isn't as impressive looking on this side. They didn't really do much to like cover up or hide any of the hoses and stuff on this side. I think I've got bikes that are much more symmetrical looking from the left as well as the right. So I think that was a little bit of a miss there. I mean, it's a little bit made up for in the fact that it leans over so much when it's parked, so you can see it better on the one side. But as for the ugly side, I think that there's comparable bikes like the Rocket 3, the Diavel. They have definitely a less ugly non-show side. So I think that maybe that could be improved in the future. But yeah. So that's my list of dislikes. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks for watching.